You're listening to Hump Day News and Rumors on Mousecapades Radio.
Get ready for something majestic.
The following is an original production of the Mousecapades Radio Network.
Now, from the Mousecapades Studios, here are your hosts.
Happy Hump Day, Mousecapades listeners. This is Vicki, and I'm here with Gina, Samantha, and Rebecca. We pray that you're all staying safe, happy, and healthy. This is episode 948, and you're listening to the number one podcast that entertains that space between your ears, the Mousecapades and More podcast.
If you're looking to book a trip, we would be glad to help. Just text Vicki, Rebecca, Samantha, or myself, Gina, at 636-373-4497, and we will be happy to get with you to design a magical vacation. A small refundable deposit of $200 will hold your Disney resort and ticket package, or we can quote you anywhere in the world. So contact us today.
So there's a massive group of people called the Defenders, and they're expected to descend upon Disneyland Park and Walt Disney World. And this large group could cause delays and closures in the park. So that's the warning. I don't know if the warning to us or to Disney, but it is in response to the changes to the disability access service that we all know and realize there's some need for change there. The DAS Defenders group is organizing disability visibility events at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort. It's a coalition of disability advocates. They initiated the petition, Stop Excluding Disabled People from Disneyland and Disney World with this new policy. So to commemorate the 34th anniversary of Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, the DAS Defenders Facebook group members are going to gather at Disneyland and Epcot on July 26th. So that is this week, people, on Friday. Participants are encouraged to wear blue to enhance their visibility, and this event is being called a meetup rather than a protest. At Disneyland, a meetup is scheduled for 10 a.m. at the picnic tables in the front of the park. We know where those are because we met there last year. Followed by a group photo in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle at noon. An evening meetup on Main Street, USA is planned for 7 p.m. And then at Epcot, the first meetup will be at Connections Cafe at 10 a.m. with a second at the exact location at 7 p.m. Guests can RSVP through a Facebook event. The Defenders are hoping to make a difference in how Disney has changed the DAS Pass.
So I am in this Facebook group.
Are you? Okay.
As you know, my daughter has severe anxiety like Rebecca does, and she no longer qualifies for the DAS. This is near and dear to my heart because if you've ever seen somebody have a panic attack, it is absolutely awful. And the whole world shuts down. Like if she has a panic attack in line, she is on the ground crying, she can't breathe, and she'll pass out. So I am very, very passionate about this. And it's part of the reasons why our family will not be going to Disney anytime soon until they get this mess figured out, because it's not safe for her to go.
I will be wearing blue that day just to support them, whether they know that I'm wearing blue or not.
Same.
Not only for me, but for my students and for my child, because they are recognizing autism as one of the disabilities that they are honoring the DAS for. However, some of the things that I'm hearing that they're offering as suggestions are like bringing a squishy in line or things of that nature. Well, if you're an autism parent, you take those everywhere you go. You already know these things.
Right.
So I feel like they're offering accommodations that are not accommodations. They're part of these families' everyday life.
Right. It's just awful. It's awful what some of these families are going through. I personally am just taking myself out of the situation so that I don't have to deal with it, because these families are waiting for 7 hours online just to be told, no, you don't qualify. And it's already causing enough stress and anxiety with them. It's just making it worse. So I feel for these families. And it's like there's no rhyme or reason. Like some people have the same problems, and because it's not based on a diagnosis. It's based on what happens in line, like why you can't stand in line. But it's like there's no rhyme or reason to why some people are getting it and some people are not. And it just doesn't make any sense.
It's because it's subjective and different people are talking. And so if you get somebody who has a heart and realizes or has ever seen it happen, it's going to probably make a difference.
Well, and some of them are, it's out of their hands. They
Right.
can't, they can't, the cast members are sending it up to this other company that Disney has contracted with, and nobody is getting through with them. It's like, it's a hard no from them. And it's just, it's awful. And I do know that they are having many people that are not qualified anymore emailing Josh Tomorrow's office and some of the other offices, and they are returning calls. There is a canned email that you will get, but go ahead and reply to that email, that canned email, and they will get somebody that's calling you back. So it seems like somebody is listening, but it's just, is Disney really going to change it or not? It's going to be the issue.
I mean, I'm following a lady on TikTok who is gathering letters from different people who have been denied the DAS and just gathering information. And she says, I don't know, but she says that she's been told that this is a pilot program anyway. I don't know. I hope that they are taking note and that there are going to be changes, but we'll see.
And you don't know, right, until like 30 days prior.
Right. And then it's too late to change your plans. Like if you've just bought tickets, that's it, you're out.
People plan these trips in advance.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're making them wait 30, what difference does it make that 30 days versus maybe when you booked your trip? Because I'm in a Disney group on Facebook, and the amount of people reject it, that's all I see. I think it's so rare to see a post that's like, I actually got through, because they said that I think you have to they take your picture.
Mm-hmm.
And they took your picture, that's how you know. Because some people go, I don't even know if I got it or not. And it's people could have the same, say, diagnosis, but everything's different maybe within that, because it's no cookie cutter.
Right. And some people are more severe than others. Some people are more functional. And I mean, I understand that, but there's still a lot of other issues out there that are completely being denied.
Some aren't physical.
Right. They're given these other things to do, like return to line, or having your child or you stand in line and your child or you stand outside of the line, and then they call you when you get up, and I've heard from in the parks that that's causing an issue when you're trying to get through the line to meet up with your party, that people are getting very mad because they feel like you're skipping the line, and that's not even it at all.
I don't want to beat a dead horse with this one, but I did hear a man last night on TikTok telling his story, and he is a transplant survivor. And when you have had a transplant, you cannot be in close proximity to people for quite some time because you're taking autoimmune suppressants so that your body does not reject the transplant.
Yep.
Right.
So he had asked for the DAS for that reason and was denied. He also has an EVC for a totally different issue, mobility issue. And that had nothing to do with why he requested the DAS.
Right.
What they told him was when he got to a ride, their accommodation was when he got to a ride to tell the cast member and that his family could create a bubble around him. Like his wife could stand 3 feet in front of him, his son could stand 3 feet behind him. And they had already figured out certain lines. I know Peter Pan is closed right now for refurbishment, but that one comes to my mind. Peter Pan wouldn't work at all the way that it zigzags.
Right.
That one was just out for him. But he was willing to try it with, certain lines with them creating this bubble around them. He got to one specific ride. He didn't tell which one it was, but he came up on the scooter and the cast member said, we don't accept DAS for scooters. And he said, no. I'm going to get off the scooter. The DAS is for, and he tells the whole story, which he said he had to do at every single ride. The cast member said, no, we don't accept DAS for people in scooters. And he said, no, you don't understand. I'm parking the scooter. The scooter is not the issue. He just never did get through to the cast member because the cast members, I think, are afraid. I mean, they've been given a script that they're to follow. And I think a lot of them, are young. They don't know. They just know what that they've been told. It's not about mobility. It's just created a really, really bad situation. And it looks really bad on Disney.
Well, and even if there is no DVC, people are going up to them and requesting the DAS, and they're still getting denied by the cast member at the ride. They're just basically flat out telling them no. All right, let's move on to some happier stuff. We could talk about the DAS system all day. So huge Disney fans are hoping that this year's D23 in August is going to share big ideas to help Disney get back on track with all the stuff that Universal has come out with. So Disney fans are desperately waiting for some concrete plans for Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort. Chairman of Disney Parks, Josh D'Amaro, and Disney CEO Bob Geiger better have something big ready to give these fans at this year's D23. Here is what most people know. D'Amaro announced significant changes to Disney's Animal Kingdom last year. Disneyland USA will be replaced by a Central South American themed land featuring an Encanto attraction. And despite that announcement a year ago, there has been no progress at Disney parks regarding this. D'Amaro also teased that the largest expansion in history of the Magic Kingdom. We now know the project's name beyond Big Thunder Mountain, but little else besides that. At Disneyland Resort, we know that Disneyland Forward is moving forward. Bob Iger let it slip that there will be an Avatar land similar to the one at Disney's Animal Kingdom in Disney World. But beyond that, there has been very little concrete information, and nobody has started anything in the parks. Whatever happens, it needs to be big to compete with Universal's Epic Universe. Until D23, we will just have to sit and wait. And we don't have to wait and sit and wait much longer because it's almost here. My personal opinion, I think it's going to be a big bomb. I don't think they're going to come out with anything new. I really don't. I don't think they got anything.
Might be just saying it just to kind of be like, yeah, we have something big too because of Universal, and kind of putting it off because look at all the things that have been announced and then they just quietly disappear.
Yep.
And never talked about again. Like that's it.
I don't know about you all, but I'm getting tired of the rethemed things.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of rethemed, let's talk about Tiana's. Tiana's Bayou Adventure seems to be dealing with one problem after another. Since its launch, the ride has been plagued by technical difficulties, leading to frustrated social media posts from fans. And Gina can tell us about some of those even before it was officially opened. The ride has actually broken down a shocking amount of times for a brand new attraction. During cast member previews, the ride broke down multiple times a day, sometimes not even opening with the park. Evacuations were and are still taking place on the ride on nearly a daily basis. And the virtual queue that was put in place, which typically fills up within seconds of being released at both 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. for other attractions like Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, was still fully open and available by park close multiple days last week, which shows the ride is simply not as popular as Disney may have anticipated. There have even been evacuations needed due to fire alarms and shutting down the ride entirely. Now, the ride has been pulled from Disney's Magic Kingdom's extended hours at night. Did Disney make a mistake? And what do we think? So, y'all know what I think. We should have left Brer Rabbit
I agree.
and his Briar Patch and Zippity Doodah alone, and we should have given Tiana her own new ride.
Well, here's the issue. I was talking to one of the cast members when we did the annual pass preview, and you'll hear me talk about this on our trip report, but she was telling us that the issue is that Disney rethemed this, and there were issues already to begin with, and they didn't fix those issues when they rethemed it. They just rethemed it, and that's it. So I don't know what Disney was thinking, not fixing the issues. Did they think they were magically going to go away?
Because as much as I loved Splash Mountain was down a lot, especially in the last few years.
Well, heck, when we did our preview, we didn't even get to ride it. We got a virtual queue for 10:30 in the morning, and they did not call our boarding group until 5 o'clock, and we were boarding our plane.
They honestly rushed it. They just wanted, I think, because like Patron, how long that took. I think they just wanted to say, hey, look, we announced this ride in 2020 and now it's open. But the fact is, it's like the bad press for it. The amount of times I was on the app this weekend for other things, and I would just check the parks just to see what's the wait times. It was down every single time, and I was checking different times throughout the day. So, I mean, and then
Crazy.
for the Halloween parties now, the virtual queue is not going to be there for Tiana.
Right.
It's just a standby. So I'm kind of curious to see how that'll go.
I mean, you guys know my love of Brer Rabbit. I'm a Southern girl, and the saying is you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. So they made it look prettier, but they didn't fix the problem.
No.
So
You can't even showcase animatronics.
I hate this. I was just thinking about this the other day. When we first were, when Vicky and Nick and all of them started this podcast, like it was like good things about Disney. Like we were excited, we were happy, and don't get me wrong, Disney is still my favorite place. But it just seems like since COVID, like
Yeah.
it's just nothing but problems. And I hate that. I hate that for Disney. Walt would be rolling in his grave.
I know.
Unfortunately. This is happy news, though. Samantha can give us some happy news.
And it's my all-time favorite ride. July 22nd is the 30th anniversary of a very iconic ride at Hollywood Studios. Happy 30th birthday to the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This iconic ride has been thrilling visitors of Disney's Hollywood Studios since 1994. Can you believe it? I was 6 years old. Despite not being an opening day attraction, Hollywood Studios opened in 1989. This ride has become synonymous with the park, and it's often a must-do for people of all ages. The park map that debuted with this attraction promised your next stop, a mysterious Hollywood hotel where the elevator takes a sudden detour into the fifth dimension and plummets straight down from the 13th floor. The spooky haunted hotel vibes combined with this unique ride system and thrilling drop made the Tower of Terror a favorite ride for so many Disney fans. If you're going to be at Hollywood Studios anytime, be sure to ride this historic ride so you can celebrate 30 years of scary fun. And they have a lot new merchandise that has come out. They do have the ornament, which is on my to-do list to buy, new ears. I think I've seen a Spirit jersey, but I am, after the last 2 trips being pregnant, I'm very excited to finally get myself on that ride.
Get to ride it again.
I don't know if you guys can see my lounge fly.
Oh, you got it?
I did. He's so cute. Look, it opens. And Mickey and Minnie are in it.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
It's one of my favorites. I got it too.
I saw it when I was there in October with the family, and I wanted it so bad. And then one of my clients went on their honeymoon, and I Venmoed her the money for it.
Oh.
She got it for me and brought it home.
I think that ride is one of the best queues at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I love walking through. Every time I walk through, I see something that I've never noticed before.
Yeah.
I love it.
We might, I don't know, might take Chase on it this year. He's just about there. He thinks he can do it.
Did you let him watch the video?
I did. I showed him it and he said, that looks cool. But Mike's one of the, what if he gets on it and the pre-show, where you're going through, what if he starts losing it? He's stuck.
I will let you off right before.
Yeah. I mean,
I was going to say that's not really what she wants, though.
he's so little too, because it's like I lift off the seat.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like 39 pounds. He'll be almost 4 when we go.
He'll either love it or hate it.
I know. I'm like, do I do it early in the morning, if anything, to traumatize him then? And then he has the whole day to forget about it.
No, because then if he gets sick, you have to leave.
Andrew said it's a one and done for him. He rode it the last time we were there, and he's done. He's not riding it again.
That's Mike.
He's like, Nick, I'll do the chicken elevator.
I asked if he would do it, like if Chase goes.
Right.
I think he might, like, I feel like Chase could convince him to go, but it's like that kind of ride where it's like, I have to do this with my kids.
Right, right.
It's just that love, and I don't know. I don't know. He might be okay. I don't think he gets it fully, as long as it's not like a million drops, maybe. Mike had 13 drops when he did his.
Oh my gosh.
I had 4 last summer.
We had 6 the last time I got Joey on there.
I have never counted.
I'm too busy screaming my head off.
Me too. I am too busy screaming.
Well, today's the day, ladies. When this airs, Lightning multi-passes and Lightning single passes will now be in effect at Disney World. So if you haven't listened to the show in a couple weeks, if you're going to be visiting Disney World and you're staying on property, you can book 3 passes for a park 7 days prior to your trip. If you have a travel agent like one of us, we will be the ones doing it for you. If you're going to stay off property, you will get to do your multi-passes and your single pass 3 days prior to your first day at the parks. Now, some of the Genie Plus rules are going to change, including park hopping. You will still be able to use Lightning Lane multi-pass when park hopping, but you have to physically scan into your first park and use a Lightning Lane selection before you can choose a selection at another park. From what Disney said, you probably also won't be able to modify selections until you've scanned into your first park. Here's the official language from Disney about that. When you purchase a Lightning Lane multi-pass for a theme park, you'll be prompted to choose up to 3 multi-pass experiences and arrival windows in the same theme park. Once you redeem a selection on the day of your park visit, you can use the My Disney Experience app to choose another multi-pass experience in any Walt Disney World theme park, subject to availability. As long as you have a valid ticket with Park Hopper option or an annual pass, the ability to visit another park is subject to park's capacity limitations. Currently with Genie Plus, you can only book 1 ride at a time. However, you can make a selection after 2 hours, even if you've not yet scanned into your previous selection. However, that is going away with the Lightning Lane multi-pass. You'll be able to have up to 3 Lightning Lane selections at any given time, so you no longer need to wait for the 120-minute rule. And there could be more changes. We may not know what they are until the system's up and running this today, which is July 24th when this airs.
It does sound like it's going to be a little easier.
I think so too. The one thing I was going to ask you guys, because someone asked me, when we're booking those 7 days, do they have to do every park day like they did when they pre-bought before?
I would think so, but I'm not for sure.
Well, I'm calling in the morning for something else, so I think I'm going to ask, but they're like, there's some parks that I don't think I need that for. And I said, I get that part. But when Genie Plus first rolled out and you were able to plan it ahead of time before Chapek put the kaputs on it, you had to buy all of them.
Right.
Yeah, because we're looking just to do maybe 1 or 2 days. That was our goal for our trip, because we're going to be there 8 days.
Right.
And so we don't need it for all those days. There's just those certain rides we're really just trying to make sure we get. But also, I kind of wish they would have put out maybe the prices.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's also playing into, because our trip is, I think, like, we're at 90 days maybe. And we're trying to think of what else budget wise do we have to pay for? And so, we're talking about it tonight, and it's like, okay, so we have to potentially budget for this if we're going to do it, because, who knows how much, and we have Park Hopper too. So, but who knows how much they're going to do on this.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get at least a general idea since you have some time. You'll be able to get a general idea about how much it's going to be.
You'll know more on Wednesday for sure, because that's when it.
Yeah, I just hope they change that 7 days. It's just so close to your trip.
I know. I wish they would have gave it the 60 days like they used to for the old.
Yeah. Just so at least, okay, I have these rides, I'm good.
Or even 30 days. 30 days would be good.
Yeah. But a week before, when you're trying to get everything else done.
Well, then you're going to be competing with everybody else too at the same time.
Yeah. On top of any other, magical extras you're trying to add in.
Right. And packing.
Yeah.
So this week, Bo Peep was spotted in Hollywood studios doing meet and greets with Disney fans. Cast members said that Bo Peep has been making a lot of private appearances, so the chance to see her out in the parks is very rare. But did you know that Disney has something called the Character Palooza? Every once in a while, Disney will bring out a lot of characters common and rare to meet and greet with guests, like Timon, Stitch, Max, Piglet, Miko the raccoon from Pocahontas, Louie from Jungle Book, and King Richard from Robin Hood were caught strolling around the parks greeting guests both young and old. The next time you are in the parks, keep your eyes peeled because you may get to be part of Character Palooza. We have seen Max a couple times.
So they were showing it and it looked like Animal Kingdom, but I couldn't find anything that confirmed that. But literally all those characters walked out from behind a fence somewhere. It looked like Animal Kingdom, that they were just walking out and going to stroll. And that's what happens at Disneyland. So, I mean, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're taking cues from Disneyland because I like that. That's what my family talk about all the time is we interact more with the characters at Disneyland than we do at Disney World because we don't want to stand in line for the characters at Disney World.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I remember when Katie was little, which characters, popular characters come and go and change, but King Louie from Jungle Book scared her to death.
I'm sure.
Oh, he came up kind of behind us because this was, she's 22 and she was probably, 3 or 4. And he kind of came up behind us and she was like, oh, no, 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 no. I am not doing that. As part of the festivities happening at Disneyland Resort for D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, guests can enjoy the Disney Junior Let's Play Party at Disney California Adventures on August the 8th, 2024. The event will celebrate Disney Junior characters and stories from series like Disney Junior's Ariel, Mickey Mouse Farmhouse, Super Kitties, and more. At 10:30 on the day of the event, the parade route at Disney's California Adventure will see Disney Junior friends in the parade with drummers and vehicles. Making her Disney Park debut this day will be Disney Junior's Ariel, who will make a special one-day-only appearance at Disney California Adventures on August the 8th. In Hollywoodland, guests can find a Disney Junior Ariel Arts and Crafts area at the Hollywood Backlot stage. Families can enjoy a series of live performances and kids can decorate cupcakes during Confection Perfection with the Super Kitties, an offering that was previously offered during the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. I miss my kids watching Disney Junior.
Mine never really got into it.
Oh, we did.
We're Super Kitty fans over here.
Oh,
I would really like to come to Disney World because currently Chase is asleep with Fitzy and Natalia is asleep with Buddy right now. They love it. I just started seeing like Super Kitty merchandise on the site. Chase wants a shirt, he said, for Disney.
Aww.
It just stinks. Like Disneyland seems to get a lot of the good characters.
They do.
He wants to meet Sadness, and he's sad she's not at, she's not meet and greet in Disney World anymore. She's only in Land.
I think the only thing my kids got into was Sophia the First, and we used to have a cat named Clover after that show.
You might get lucky because you're at the party, though. They might have Sadness there since the movie.
Yeah, they might.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they would freak out.
I bet you they will have those characters out more. Abby wondered if eventually they'll add anxiety for meet and greets.
They should.
We have an anxiety doll, but I feel like that's more for me than the kids. That was my spirit animal watching that movie. But that would be really cool if they could do that. I mean, I know like Ariel, I'm assuming it's going to be a human, not the cartoon version. And they have that, I know, in Disney World, like at the separate parks.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to do more like how they do that, the making the cupcakes and stuff. They should do stuff like that in Disney World. I feel like they kind of don't.
Yeah.
I think they don't because World is so much more crowded than Land is. Land is more, you have to think of it more as a locals park than what Disney World is. I think that's why things are so much different.
And there's usually a festival going on in World. Like this is just a rare quiet time, like with Epcot being just bare. But yeah, Super Kitties, please. I have 2 little children who'll be very happy. So in a post on Instagram, Disney Workers Rising announced that 99% of cast members represented by the union voted yes to an unfair labor practice strike authorization. The vote does not mean that cast members are currently on strike, only that they have the ability to, if, as according to the group. quote, Disney continues to silence cast members and prevent us from getting the contract we deserve, unquote. Disney Workers Rising says that a strike is always a last resort and that they plan to continue negotiations with Disney on Monday and Tuesday in an attempt to come to an agreement. Union representatives later clarified that cast members should not walk out until the union notifies them to do so, as walking out before the start of an official strike could lead to cast members being disciplined and or fired. On Wednesday, July 17th, the 69th anniversary of Disneyland, cast members represented by the union gathered together near the entrance of Disneyland Resort and held a rally in support of fair contract. Disneyland Workers Rising first entered negotiations with Disney on April 24th of this year, demanding fair wages, a fair attendance policy, seniority increases, and safe parks for cast members and guests. The union has still not reached an agreement with Disney at this time, and it is unknown when or if an official strike will begin.
Wonder what their pay is right now.
I just heard it's barely minimum wage, and they're right. If someone at McDonald's is making minimum wage and they're making minimum wage, they're doing far more as a character.
Oh, for sure.
Than the people at McDonald's. And I'm sorry.
For sure.
I'm sorry for the McDonald's people, but it's true. Their job is, especially if they have to wear a costume with a head on, they're going to be hot and they have to always be happy. And I mean, I don't know that every McDonald's person is always very happy when you go to get your McDonald's.
Right.
So I feel bad for them.
It's also gotten worse since COVID. You know what I mean? Like dealing with the park guests.
Right.
But
right.
It's always been, I had a cousin that worked at Disney World back in the early 90s. And even back then, it was not a high paying job. It was just, he wanted to say he worked there.
Right.
But it's kind of known they just don't pay and they work those workers.
You have to really like your job.
Yeah. You have to want to be at Disney and be okay. Like you have to know what you're kind of getting into. That it is, the most magical place on earth, the happiest place on earth, but it's a lot. It's very demanding.
And what they have to put up with the public, because let me tell you, the public is not nice anymore.
No.
Well, this was interesting, so I had to just add this in. With as hot as it's been this spring and summer at Disney World, several rides are struggling to stay open all day. The lines are backing up. The wait times are backing up because of that. Add that all together, you get some angry people. You guys get the idea.
Yep.
Sometimes you duck indoors for a show or you go inside to eat just so that you can have a few moments of cool air to get away from the blazing sun. So guests recently discovered another alternative that was not being used by people already, like fans and cooling towels. They decided to be a guinea pig for this. Some guests did because they wanted to know if they worked. They're these cooling patches that you can buy from Amazon in a box of 20. It says it gave plenty of opportunity to try them out over and over again while they were at Disney World. Well, I guess so, because it's super hot there. If you've not had a chance to see these before, the cooling patches are small strips of gel stuck to a gauze-like mesh on one side, and the other side sticks to your skin, is covered in a peel-away plastic until it's ready for use. They each come individually packaged, making them lightweight and easy to pack multiple with you for yourself and your entire family while you're at the parks.
I might have to get some of these for my boys to put under their driving suits for the race car.
Yeah. I should have looked up the price, and I can do that while one of you guys is doing a story. But I was like, well, that's interesting. I hadn't seen those before.
Dang it, that would have been nice when we were there, huh, Rebecca?
Yeah. Sounds like a really good idea.
So beginning Monday, July 22nd, the Beast began having meet and greets with his guests visiting the Be Our Guest restaurant. And let me tell you, my daughter was salty about this.
I started to say, of course he started on July 26th.
Right. Since the pandemic, the Beast has just wandered the restaurant, not stopping for formal pictures. And we actually got to see him twice when we were there for our dinner. After 4 years, the Beast will greet his fans in his study and pose for pictures with them. Disney is stating that this is just a test at this time. If this becomes a permanent meet and greet, we will let you know. Yeah, Abby was not very happy when I read her that story. She's like, are you serious?
I've really always wondered why he wasn't a meet and greet. I mean,
especially with the price that you're paying to eat there.
Yeah.
Especially since they changed the menu and made it even more expensive.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still say they should have Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, agree.
For pictures.
Uh-huh.
These cooling patches, the ones that were specifically in this article, I'm trying to see what company makes them, but they have a dolphin on there. They have a 12 pack for $9.99 and a 20 pack for $13.99. So not too bad.
Not terribly expensive. No.
The same company has one for when you have a fever also.
Well,
Oh,
I think I'm going to order some for the boys for this weekend.
see what happens. Let us know.
Yeah, you can do a report.
Yeah.
Tell you if they work or not.
So, have you bought your tickets for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? If you haven't, we would advise that you hurry and get your ticket. This week, the second party, the one on August the 13th, has sold out. Disney believes that the first night's party, which is August the 9th, hasn't sold out because of the conflict with D23. A lot of the media typically attends the first party, but they will be in California hoping to hear about the new and amazing ideas that Disney will be bringing to us. So as of right now, August 13th and 31st are sold out. Reach out to us, any of us, and we can help you with tickets to this amazingly fun party that happens every fall. Funny story, I'm trying to desperately figure out a way that I'm going to get to the Mickey's Not So Scary party this year. We're going to be in Panama City 1 week in September, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get from Panama City to Orlando and then back home. Long story short, did you know that it's almost impossible to fly from Panama City to Orlando? It's like an 8-hour flight.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, they take you either to Nashville or to Chicago.
Oh, geez.
Or to Dallas for a layover, and then you get there.
Can you not do Panama City to Tampa?
That's what I was thinking, to Tampa. Because then you could just drive from Tampa, because Tampa's not that far.
Right. And I've done that drive before. But I didn't have a great experience renting a car, but now I know why. So we are thinking about maybe either renting Steve and Joey a car to drive home or renting me a car to get to Orlando. But anyway, nevertheless, I said something about that, and Joey goes, "Why would there be a Halloween party in the middle of September?"
I know Jenny asked me the other night, she texted me because now that my daughter's been to California, and been to Disney last year, she's like this big Disney person now. She wants to go all the time. So her and her boyfriend were talking about going to the Halloween party because she really liked it. And she's like, "Well, when's the best time to go?" And I said, "Probably September." I said, "Because kids are still in school, you're not getting the fall breaks yet." I said, I would say September would be your best bet.
We'll be there October 21st.
That's usually when we're there.
I have a random Sally dress hanging in my closet that I bought for absolutely no reason other than I thought it was cute. And I was like, I've never worn the thing that would give me a reason to wear it.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I always wear my mini skirt. I go as Minnie, and Chris has red shorts, and he dresses as Mickey.
Cute.
With the new Country Bears show opening last week with a whole new look, the Country Bears that do meet and greets around the park surprised guests this week. It seems all of the Country Bears that walk around and try to scare people or photobomb guest pictures got an update too. The Bears were spotted with their new fur and new outfits greeting guests in Frontierland. If you're going to be in Frontierland soon, be sure to be on the lookout for those crazy bears so you can capture a picture with them looking all fresh and new. I think I've said I've never seen this show, or if I have, I don't remember. But Natalia saw me watching Disney Food Blog, and she's obsessed with bears since she watched Brave. Obsessed with bears, and she freaked out so excited.
Aww.
Mama bears, mama bears, mama bears.
Aww.
So I feel like at least Natalia will go see the show. Chase was kind of indifferent.
He's a typical boy.
Yeah, he was. Maybe when he's there, but she thinks everything's a bear at this point. But she into it, the music, everything.
Well, then I hope that you get to run into a bear that's walking around, because that's really
Yeah.
fun.
Yes.
Well, she likes, she's very, very tiny for her age, almost 21 months, and just getting into size 18-month clothes. But she loves Big Bird. So she loves those tall things. So I think she would like the bears.
I bet she would.
No.
So fun. Well, thank you, listeners, and thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight. It is a joy and a pleasure to share rumors and news with you guys each week. We hope that sometimes we can bring you more joyful news, as Gina said. But the fact is, Gina, that since the pandemic, the news has taken a turn.
I know. But if you are interested in being a guest on our show, or you have a question or comment, just text us at 636-373-4497. We love to talk with our listeners, and we'd love to hear your thoughts about Disney or Universal.
You can check us out on our social media account, the Mousecapades Podcast on Facebook. Be sure to listen to Friday's show.
If you would like a free quote, contact Vicki, Gina, Rebecca, or me, Samantha, at 636-373-4497. As always, thanks for listening to the #1 podcast that entertains the space between your ears, the Mousecapades and More podcast.
Well, girls, I think it's about that time. Disney love.
See you real soon.
Second star to the right.
It's a small world after all.
Have a magical day, my friends.
Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and the plants and you take a glance at the fancy ants, and then maybe try a few, the bare necessities of life will come to you. They will come